Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Jason here. Today we're going to go over some of the EIDL questions I've been getting, also some of the PPP loan information that we've been getting as well, and why you shouldn't try to fraud your way into getting any kind of money because they're coming down hard on people that have been frauding and scams and things like that. If you haven't, quick thumbs up on the video as well right down below. Also hit the sub button, that way you guys can keep up to date. Let's get right into it. So I've been getting a lot of questions about the EIDL loan or EIDL grant, and people asking, hey Jason, when is this thing going to be available? Well, right now really nobody knows honestly when this is going to be available. There's a lot of guesses and questions. Obviously this grant should have already been available. I mean, this last package got passed in December. We are now really right into February, and still no real date to go live. Now, a lot of people have speculation that it's going to go live around mid-February, but a lot of people also had speculation that it was going to go live last week. I mean, honestly, my guess would be mid-February too, but nobody really knows. Anywhere after this first week of February, it could go live. And this first round is only going to be available for low-income areas, in low-income, people that had a 30% loss in revenue. So if you're looking if you haven't looked to see if you're in a low-income area, you can go in my videos, and there's a video straight dedicated towards that. I'll link it in the description. You guys can go and see if you're in a low-income area. There's lots of places that are in low-income areas. Like if you live in a city that has less than 2,000 people, or a town of less than 2,000 people, you're automatically in a low-income area according to the SBA. So you would be in a low-income area. If you live in an area that's below 80% of the family income rate, you're considered a low-income area. So you just have to, like I said, you just have to look. And there's a big process to it. It takes, it's going to be a headache for sure, because there's going to be people that are in like the 19 percentile areas. And it's like, that kind of sucks because, obviously if you're 1% up, you would be in 20%. Hopefully there's a lot of leeway, at least some kind of leeway with this first round. So if you're in a low income area, that's going to be the first ones to go. And the other people, obviously there is two sections in this last bill that got passed. Section 331, which is for low income. And there was a section 332 that a lot of people keep saying, hey, but what about that $40 billion that passed for the emergency EIDLs that aren't in low income? Well, nobody knows about, what they're going to do about that yet. Obviously, we would hope that they would go with the law, but we also know the SBA likes to make up their own rules out of nowhere and, can screw us all. Yeah, like, look, we could sue them, but what are you going to do? Like, are we going to win suing the SBA? Probably not. So let's hope that it goes by the law, or at least there's some kind of new stuff passed for businesses. There is a talk. Biden wants to pass a $50,000 EIDL grant. That would be great. That would help out a lot of businesses. Let's hope that passes. Biden wants to do that. So hey, maybe there'll be $50,000 and the $10,000 won't matter so much. But at the end of the day, let's just hope this $10,000 gets passed out to people that are, had a 30% loss in income. Because if you had a 30% loss in income, whether you're in a low income area or not, you're hurting. 30% loss in your business income from year over year is a lot. And a lot of people, $10,000 isn't going to cover that 30% loss. So why should I have to live in a low income area to even get that? That's just silly to me. So let's hope that this does get passed and we see a better future for everybody. Second question I get asked a lot. Hey, Jason, does the SBA even know what they're talking about or what's going on? Truth is, I would say, 99.9% of people at the SBA probably don't know either. If you email them and ask them when these grants are going to go live, none of them really know. So, and you'll probably get 10 different answers each time. I've emailed them plenty of times to talk to them. You always get a different answer. It's either I don't know, or it's around this time, or this time, or this time. That's how the mid-January release got out, because there was emails and an SBA worker saying, hey, look, it's probably going to go live around here. But guess what? It didn't. So at the end of the day, a lot of people don't know when this is going to go live. The SBA doesn't know when this is going to go live. Obviously, maybe the ups and ups do. They have a whereabouts, but at the end of the day, I would take somebody telling you a date with a grain of salt. Now, the SBA grants, I think, should act like the PPP loans or the PPP grants, pretty much. If you haven't, make sure you guys look into PPP. But PPPs are through banks and other institutions. I wish the SBA would just outsource this to banks and institutions. This would be a lot simpler process. We would know a lot more information because the banks could tell us information instead of the SBA. And, getting a hold of the SBA is hard. And like I said, 99.9% of people there don't know what they're doing either, in terms of don't know when this is going to go live. Like I said, you can email them. You'll get 10 different answers each time. This is like one of the biggest things I would advocate for is I wish that the SBA just outsource this to different places. That way we can just go to our bank, your local bank. You trust those people, and you can just fill out an application and then get said grant within a couple weeks. Right now, once this does go live, you got up to 21 days to even hear back to see if you're even approved. And then you got another 3 weeks to even get the money. So you're like 6 weeks out from even getting money, because this is just a huge headache. And it's just, like I said, it's just so much. There should be so much better options in terms of how this thing could go. Like, you go apply for PPP, you usually get your loan, which, like I said, it is a grant, because you don't have to pay it back if you use it on the right things. There would just be so much better. You wait like a week, you get your money. Well, with the grant, the EIDL grants, you apply, you wait 3 weeks to even hear back, and then you got to wait another 3 weeks, up to 3 weeks. Hopefully you don't have to wait another 3 weeks. That'd be 6 weeks you'd have to wait until you get your money if you do get approved. It's 6 weeks versus 1 to 2 weeks. I think I'll take the 1 to 2 week route. Just go to the darn banks. It's so frustrating to see how upside down the SBA is. At the end of the day, you're supposed to be the big advocates for small business, and you're being run worse than any small business out there almost. Remember, if you haven't applied for PPP, if you're trying to get an EIDL grant, apply for PPP. You're probably going to get approved, and like I said, you get 2.5 months worth of your payroll. Or if you're, like I said, if you're a lone wolf, aka a self-employed sole proprietor, you get 2.5 months worth of your income. Just do it. Literally, I filled out my second application, a couple weeks ago. Got the money real quick. I already applied for my forgiveness for the first one. Got approved for within a couple of days. It's pretty much wipe free. It's a grant now, so you're gonna get it really quick. It takes you it took me 20 minutes to do it. You just have your taxes show you've had a 25% loss in income if it's your second time. Because your first time, you used to go ahead and apply. You don't have to even show all that. Like I said, 20-30 minutes to get 2.5 months worth of your income for pretty much free, other than your 20 minutes of time doing it. Just do it. You need it. It's super easy to do. Why not just do it? It doesn't make sense to me that people have this weird pride that, hey, I'm just going to get the EIDL grant. At least it's a grant. I don't want to take this PPP loan. Just do it. It's not hurting anybody else. This money is put out there to be used. If it doesn't get used, it doesn't get used. So just use it if you need it. Obviously, if you don't need it, if your business has prospered during this time, because obviously there is some businesses that have prospered, but 90% plus of businesses haven't prospered. You've probably seen a good anywhere from 10 to 40 to 50% of loss in income from last year. So just apply. Don't have no pride issues. Just do it. The last thing I want to go over is, guys, for the love of God, please don't be trying to fraud this thing out. If you have a business, show the records. Don't be making up false documents. There's been so many people being arrested because they're doing fraud, and they're saying, "Hey, look, I made way more than I made." The IRS knows what you made. Okay, they're going to go back and look. You're going to get caught. If you own one business, don't say you own 10 businesses and get 10 different loans. If you own one business and you made 100 grand, don't say you made $1 million. It's so silly to me. Let's go over some of these. What are these people thinking? This guy right here, what are you doing? He got $1.5 million in PPP loans. when he wasn't even shouldn't even got that. He attained actually $3 million in loans. Oh man, and it's just like he should only he should only got a $150,000 loan. He got a $3 million loan. Next one up, you know, money laundering schemes for the PPP loan. You know, like I said, don't lie. They're gonna get you. You're gonna get caught. You're gonna get. Okay, like this guy here, man. Look at this. Like he should have had a $250,000 loan, but he got a $2.5 million loan. You know, here's another one. The bottom man. Like these guys are going out and buying like luxury cars and stuff. At least invest the money. Like if you're gonna go out and fraud it, you might at least invest it and at least like make some money off of it. Don't, you know what I mean? Like, good Lord, like invest the money. You shouldn't do it anyway, obviously. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna be stupid and get a $2 million loan, you know, when you shouldn't even got the darn $2 million loan, and you're just going out and buying like, you know, your whole crazy lifestyles, going on trips and buying, you know, Lambos and shit. Like, come on now. Like, this is crazy. Like, this guy here, another trunking company. Good Lord, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many schemes. Like, why? Why? Like, they lied right. Look at that. Good Lord. $1.2 million in stolen money. Like, they really stole $1.2 million. They got $1.2 million more than they should have. They got a $3 million loan and got $1.2 million than they should have. Like, you're going to get caught. Okay? And that goes for the EIDL grant. Don't lie. Don't say you're in a low income area. You know, don't use your cousin's house as your primary residence, because guess what? The IRS is going to see that your tax returns come from another address that aren't in a low income area. You're going to got. You're going to get whatever. Like it. Come on now, man. Just don't be trying to fraud anybody. Don't be stupid. They're gonna figure it out and you're gonna get in trouble. Don't lie. We're all hurting, obviously. Apply for what you can get. Just don't, you know, false flag it and get in trouble and end up losing more than you already lost, you know? Like, obviously, I mean, we all wish we can get a lot more money faster, but don't be those people. Okay, I don't want to see anybody getting in trouble. I don't want to see somebody go down. Because look, I know you guys are all hurting. I know we're all hurting. Hey, just don't lie. Be good. That's pretty much all I wanted to go over. Again, if you haven't, smack the like button below. Hit that sub button. And I'll see you guys in the next one.